Hello, bakers. I'm Henry Hunter, founder of Crust and Crumb Academy. If we haven't met, welcome. I've been baking bread for a long time, teaching it for almost as long. And these days, I run a community of bakers on school, where we bake together every Saturday morning. Today, I want to walk you through what we're working on this week. The Pretzel Loaf. 2 tracks, 1 loaf, and a bath that changes everything. Whether you're new to bread or you've been at this for years, pull up a chair. Let me show you how this one comes together. So we're doing the Pretzel Loaf this week. 2 tracks, 1 loaf. Same destination, same bath, same bake, same finish, but 2 different ways to get the dough there. If you've got a starter, we've got a path for you. If you don't, we've got one for you too. Let me walk you through it. Here's how we're built. The yeasted track and the sourdough track, they look different on paper, but they end at the same place. Same hydration, same flour weight, same loaf coming out of the oven. The only thing that changes is how the fermentation gets started. That's the whole point. Whether you've been baking for 10 years or you're brand new to this, we've got room for you in the same kitchen. This is what we're baking. A pretzel loaf, full-size boule, deep mahogany crust, that pretzel snap on the outside, but a real breadcrumb on the inside. Open, tender, chewy where it counts. It's not a soft pretzel. It's not a regular sourdough. It's its own thing, and once you've baked one, you'll understand why we're rallying around it. The bath is the heart of this loaf. Skip it, and you don't have a pretzel loaf. You have regular bread. 3 things happen when you dip that dough in alkaline water. First, the surface starch gelatinizes. The skin tightens, seals up, and gets ready to take heat. Second, that high pH triggers the Maillard reaction earlier and harder than a normal loaf. That's why the color goes so dark, so fast. And third, you get that mineral pretzel flavor on the lips. You can't fake that. You can't get it any other way. Here are the numbers you need to write down. 120 grams of baking soda, 4.7 liters of water, 30 seconds per side. This is non-negotiable. Don't go heavier, don't go lighter. Don't shortcut the time. The bath is where this loaf earns its name. Both tracks share the same numbers. 650 grams of flour total, 66% hydration, 2.3% salt. 1 boule serves 8 to 10. The hydration's deliberately on the low side. The dough has to be firm enough to hold its shape through the boil without slumping. Don't push the water higher. This is one recipe where you trust the number. Track 1 is the yeasted version with a Poolish. This one's for bakers who don't have an active starter or anyone who wants to focus on the boil and bake without the variables of a live culture. You'll mix a Poolish the night before. Then, in the morning, you mix the final dough, build strength with folds, bulk ferment, shape, cold retard, bath, and bake. Total time, 16 to 20 hours. Most of that is hands-off. Let me explain the Poolish, because if you've never used one, this is the move. A Poolish is a preferment. You mix flour, water, and a tiny pinch of yeast the night before. Just a pinch, 1/8 of a teaspoon. Then you walk away. By morning, that little pinch of yeast has multiplied overnight. The Poolish is bubbly, slightly sweet, and full of developed flavor. It's doing for your yeasted bread what an overnight ferment does for sourdough, building depth, building character, without needing a starter at all. That's how we make this work for everyone. Track 2 is the sourdough version. This one's for bakers with a mature, active starter. If your starter's been sitting in the fridge or it's been feeding weak, give it 2 strong feedings before you start so it's at peak. The path is mix, fermentalize, salt, folds, bulk, shape, cold retard, bath, bake. Total time, 20 to 24 hours, longer than the yeasted track because sourdough rewards patience. The cold retard is where the sourdough track really earns its flavor. 3 things happen during that long fridge stay. Flavor develops. You get those complex, tangy notes that only come from a slow ferment. 12 to 16 hours in the cold gives the wild yeast and bacteria time to build depth. Structure firms up. The dough tightens, becomes easier to handle, and survives the boiling bath without slumping or losing its shape. And patience. Under-fermented sourdough is the #1 reason this loaf comes out flat. Don't rush the bulk. Don't shortcut the retard. Trust the time. This is where the tracks come back together. The shared bath, the shared bake, the shared finish. Once your dough is shaped and resting in the fridge, the rest of the bake-along is the same for everyone. Yeasted or sourdough, we're all doing the same thing from here on out. The bake. Preheat your Dutch oven to 475 degrees. After the bath, score the loaf, transfer it in on parchment. Drop in 4 or 5 ice cubes between the parchment and the wall of the Dutch oven. That's your steam. Lid on. 20 minutes covered. Then pull the lid, drop the temperature to 450, and bake another 35 to 40 minutes until the crust is deep mahogany. The 5-minute butter rule. Within 5 minutes of pulling that loaf out of the oven, brush the entire crust with melted butter. 28 grams, 2 tablespoons. Then sprinkle Maldon flake salt across the top. The butter softens the crust just enough to be tender, deepens the color, and lets the salt stick. 5 minutes. Don't wait. The crust seals up fast as it cools. Here's what success looks like when you cut it open. Mahogany crust with a slight sheen. A clean score that opened up and bloomed in the oven. An open, even crumb. Not airy, not gummy, just right. A faint mineral pretzel finish that sits on your lips after every bite. And visible Maldon salt across the top, catching the light. That's the loaf. If you hit those 5 things, you nailed it. A few common mistakes, and how to fix them. Pale crust means your bath was too weak or your oven was too cold. Verify your baking soda measurements. 120 grams. Don't eyeball it. Dense crumb means you under-fermented. Give the dough more time on the counter next time. Trust the rise, not the clock. Burst sides mean your score was too shallow. The alkalized crust seals up tight, and the dough has to find somewhere to expand. Give it a deeper release point. These are all fixable. That's why we bake along together. For more lessons like this, you'll find them in our classroom library inside Crust and Crumb Academy and on our YouTube channel. If learning this way works for you, if baking alongside other bakers, learning from each other, growing at your own pace inside a community sounds like the kind of place you've been looking for, then the Academy's right for you. There's a place for you at our Baker's Bench. Find us at Crust and Crumb Academy, the #1 bread baking community on School. Perfection is not required. Progress is. Come bake with us.